All right, shalom, shalom, boys. Here. Well, um, I'm going to be heading to Sam's Club today to do some storing up of some basics that I just want to make sure that I am topped off with. But we clearly see the price of things going up at an astronomical rate. I mean, take for instance diapers. I have children, and I plan on having more children. And hey, the price of diapers are going up. It's going up at a rate that is shocking. I mean, you know how much pull-ups cost today as opposed to a year ago. You can go ahead and look this stuff up. Um, and so you know, we as a people, we were charged to be fruitful and multiply, and in order to have that multiplication take place, you need responsible men that are able to provide the basic necessities for those children. You should be storing wipes as well. I'm telling you, man, and this is not everything. This is not everything. We got crates and bins as well, full with diapers. Why? Because the price of this stuff is going up. It's going up in an astronomical way. So is the price of a lot of basic necessities that we need. So you want to make sure that you are storing. You want to make sure that you are stacking up to the damn rafters. Because let me tell you, man, uh, it's going to be more and more difficult. We're seeing the child birth rates going down in this country because people are having less babies. Excuse me. People are having less babies, and uh, as a direct result of that, we are having or experiencing a decline in population, and that's not good for any economy. That's not good for any civilization. Is a decline in your birth rates. Um, and so this is why we see this happening. And a lot of people, they get, simply put, they can't afford to expand their families for basic things like this. They can't provide the basic necessities. But for those who are men of means and that are getting after it, and that the Most High is blessing the labor of your hands, and you ain't sitting around looking for handouts, and you out there, you getting after it. We definitely want to ensure that we are stacking as much as humanly possible. Another thing, boots, children's boots. I mean, children, they're gonna run through some boots. And so, the beautiful thing about, situations like this is, through the years, we'll go and we'll find a pair of boots, right? And uh hey man, you can get, boots, good deal, boots, slippers, sandals. We store this stuff because, children, they run through this stuff, and women know better than men. Children will grow through these things so quick, but it don't mean that they're run down to anything like that. So you can pass them on to your other children. But this is what we do. We store these things because we know that we have children, and their children gonna have children, and this stuff don't have an expiration date as well. At least, not that I'm familiar that this stuff has an expiration date. As long as you keep it in a cool, dry place, it'll last. It will last. It won't go bad again. I mean, I've never seen an expiration date on one of these packages. Um, so the idea is that if you can, if you have the means, especially if you're on a homestead or community, definitely, um, hey, store as much of this stuff as possible because it's not going to go to waste. The sisters need what they need in order to keep them babies healthy, keep them babies clean, uh, But you're responsible for providing the resources necessary, because these things cost money. You can't, you do, you know, yeah, you have to be able to be a producer in order to, get the things that the wives and the children need, in order to maintain themselves. So, yeah, these are just one of the many things. I'm about to go and do a good load of just basic stuff, like flour, um, sugar, more spices. I can think of some margarine, or there's some other things I've been watching, some videos of things that are going up in price, and so you want to store that stuff now. You definitely want to store it now, because it ain't gonna go to waste. It's simply put, it's not gonna go to waste. So as long as you're prepared, um, uh, then you're in a position, because hey, like I said, this stuff has gone up in value. It's gone up in value, and it's just been sitting in storage. But hey, for those of you who have the ears to hear, I mean, this is the time of preparation, because things are just getting more and more wacky out there. You're looking at these rundown cities, these tent cities. The vast majority of Americans, you got a large swath of Americans living below the poverty line, and you got to look up the definition of what it means to live below the poverty line. It basically means that you don't have access to basic services. You don't have access to basic health care. You're in physical decline. You need health attention. You're living in a situation as to where you don't have running water. You don't have access to water. You don't have access to guaranteed or intermittent heat. You don't have access to healthy food. Um, this is what it means to live below the poverty line. And a lot of people, they're headed that way. A lot of people are there already. And a lot more people are headed that way. Some through, bad situations, but a lot through their own poor choices and decisions. Listen here, it's real out there. Y'all stay encouraged and go out here and try and get me some more work, because this is the dead season, and folks don't be wanting to spend no money. But hey, when you store it up, when you properly store it up, you ain't got to worry about it, because you've invested into the real tangible goods and services, the real resources necessary to maintain yourself, so you ain't got to worry about it. You ain't got to worry about being in debt because you're debt free. You ain't got to worry about their food prices going up, because hey, you've prepared not only in storage but as well in the ability to produce for yourself, i.e. hunting, i.e. Raising sheep and goats and chickens and turkeys and all that stuff, and being good at it. Just because somebody got a whole bunch of animals on their land, they don't know that doesn't make them knowledgeable in getting increases and producing the fruit and enjoying the fruit of it. I mean, it's levels to this stuff. That's why they say as well. The scriptures say, "By their fruit you shall know them, not by their words."